What's up, guys? It's the network, and we are back with another video. And today I am just going to be going through some of the videos on the network's YouTube page just to discuss some of the topics and just kind of react to my own videos because sometimes people have questions in real time and I don't get to go through all of the details in certain situations because of the fact that I'm trying to get through the subject. So here we're just going to hop around a little bit and talk about some things. So what I'm going to do right now is first go through some of our more popular videos just to go through the older videos because sometimes these are from the past and sometimes people ask questions about these things because they're a little bit older and things have changed a little bit. So let's first go through this video. This video is how to register your CPN with the IRS, and this is just a site walkthrough, and we'll talk about it a little bit here, and we will get some
Yo,
details
what's
on it. So
poppin', everybody? It's the network, and we here with a series
keep in mind this is a 3-year-old video, so it's a little bit things have changed a little bit, but we'll talk about it.
informational video that can help you guys out a lot. So I'm going to go ahead and run through this process for you real quick. It's pretty much simple. It's verifying your CPN with the IRS. You want to have all your CPN information available, and also you want to have you can have an LLC. If you don't have an LLC, it's cool. Actually, it's probably easier not even to use your LLC. Just know that you could use your existing EIN number with this application, which makes it a little bit easier on the back end. So how this process works is you're going to go to apply for a new EIN section of the IRS website, and then you're going to go to begin application. So click begin application, and then you're going to go to partnerships. Once you go to partnerships, you click that. I'm going to click it here. It's going to be a little different.
So what this whole thing is discussing and showing you how to do is to register your CPN with the IRS. So why would somebody do this? So when you're creating a CPN, you have certain things that you can't do with the CPN because it needs to be verifiable in certain areas. So when you're creating a CPN number, when you're doing it correctly, you're going to create it with a non-issued social security number. So it's not issued to anyone, it's nobody else's number, but it's also not issued to you. So when it's not issued to you, then it's not going to be able to be verified in certain situations. So let's say a loan officer is trying to approve you for a large loan. It's not going to be able, they're not going to be able to approve you for a large loan with that number because you are now using a number that is not issued. And when they go to verify that number, it's going to show that. So the thing is with verifying your CPN with the IRS is you can go ahead and do this process, and this is going to set your CPN up as a name and also attached to an EIN number. So I know it sounds literal, like register your CPN with the IRS, but you're not literally registering your CPN with the IRS. You are essentially basically attaching a name to an EIN, and when you attach that CPN name to an EIN, now you have that number and you have that name that can be used in applications. So instead of using your normal non-issued CPN number, social security number in applications, you would use this EIN number that's given to you through this process of registering your CPN with the IRS. So you would still have your regular non-issued CPN number, but you wouldn't use it in a more official capacity. For example, if you're going for business credit or something like that, you can use this actual EIN number that will be acting as your social security number, educational purposes only, for your CPN. So this is the importance of that using your CPN. So also this would allow you to apply for bigger things like houses, cars, stuff like that. Now, obviously, you don't just do this process and be able to get approved for a car immediately or approved for a house immediately. You still have to do the hard work of adding the trade lines and stuff like that onto this number. Now, this number is going to act differently than a traditional CPN number. This number is going to act more as a business EIN number. So then you would treat it as such. You would treat it as business credit, and it will be separate from your CPN in regards to the actual numbers. But the thing is it will be the same in regards to your public record. So you would merge the two together in public record. So when you go through this process, you will have an opportunity to put an address, you'd have an opportunity to put your name, etc. So we'll go through it a little bit more so you can see how it works.
Click it on the phone, go to partnerships, and then you zoom in and click partnership again. And like I said, it's a little easier just to go with new business, but we click partnership, and then we're going to go to confirm your selection, and we're going to go to continue. They're going to tell you about what a partnership is, et cetera, et cetera. And then you go to started a new business. Once you go to started a new business, then you go to continue. Then once you go to continue, you're going to enter your actual information here because they won't let you go any further with a CPN information. You can't enter that on an IRS website.
So a lot of people have an issue here and they're like, well, why can't I enter my regular information for my CPN? And why do I have to enter my real information? Well, because you can't enter a CPN's information into the IRS website, as it says below. And that's fine. It's not going to cause you any issues or anything like that. Once again, this is educational purposes only. This is just going to be for the initial setup phase. And this will allow for you to be able to get past this part of the process so you can get inside of the database to be able to start matching that name with that information. And once again, guys, this allows for when your CPN is being searched for in public records or being searched through certain databases, you can provide a number that gives you an accurate, actual, verifiable number and skip the steps of having to maybe skip out on an application or maybe not even do an application because or not even attempt to build your CPN further because you can't build it in certain ways. So technically, the way to handle the situation is you build your CPN separately. You put your authorized user trade lines. You put your primaries on your CPN SSN, which would be your non-issued number, and then you would have your verifiable verified with the IRS number that will be basically EIN or ITIN type of number, and you'll be building that separately. But you'll be also making sure that they're all one file. So you just make sure that you have everything in a notepad or something that you can see everything clearly and make sure you clearly understand that one is your EIN type of number, which is registered with the IRS for so it's used for more official capacities. And then you also have your social non-issued number that you use for less serious things and like iPhones or quick approvals that you can get approved for firms and the paid real quick things that you can get approved for real quick. And there's plenty of things that both of these numbers can be used for if you do the process
So
correct.
you enter your normal information, first, last name, suffix if you have one, your actual social security number. This will not merge the profile, so do not worry about that. Then you hit I'm responsible, of course, and then the next page is going to show this addresses, and then you put your actual address and your city, zip code, and a phone number. This is fine. This will not merge with the profile. Do not worry about it. Then here is where you put the CP's information and how it will merge you with the IRS.
So now you see why you had to put the actual information in first, and then you have an opportunity to put your CP's information here. And that's going to not only significantly help your public records for your file, but it's going to get you on the roll for the process of having that secondary number that you can use in a more official
You put your
capacity.
of the actual CPN, and also then at the bottom right here where it says trade name doing business as, you put the CPN number right there. And then you put the address of the CPN, the county where the CPN is, and then you want to put the territory where the state. And then you can put the date of today or any date you would like to down at the bottom. That really doesn't matter. And then after that, you confirm all the information. They're going to give you an EIN number. You want to save that EIN number because that EIN number will be attached with that CPN. And then that information is all together going to be a profile that is created, and it'll be in the IRS system. So when that number is pulled up, it will pull up under that partnership.
And there you go, guys. That's one of our videos there that just discussing that topic. And it's a pretty good topic. And you can dig deeper. Like I said, you can go into starting building business credit once you get that EIN number that pops up for you. And that EIN is basically going to be under your CP's name and also that number. And then you start building the rest of the file around it. So you want to try merge your file to get your non-issued number. And then you want to start doing public records. We'll talk more about public records as well. Maybe let's find a public records video right now. See if we can find one on here. Step
So
8,
let's
how
check.
information is stored. Imagine a massive relational database. Each consumer file contains identity table, name, social, date of birth, address table, current address, previous addresses, trade line table, every account inquiry table, every inquiry. So this is basically discussing how the information in public records, how it matters, why it matters. So this is basically talking about the fact that public records is just a database and everything is basically data. So when you're building out these files, some people can get confused on like, why would I have two different numbers for my CPN and not just one? Well, it really isn't technically two different numbers when you're presenting the number in certain areas or certain environments. Certain environments only detect the number that you give them and the public records that go along with that number. The information is mainly public records, identity table, name, 9, scoring. So once the file is updated, scoring models can run, for example, FICO scores, Vantage scores. The Bureau sends account history, balances, utilization, ages, inquiries into a scoring model, and the score comes out. Now, most people know about that part of the process. A lot of people skip directly to the credit scores without going over a lot of this other parts of the process. Step. So basically, what I'm talking about here is that a lot of people will try to put the trade lines immediately onto the file, but not understanding that the file is created by a collective of information from different sources and different data collection agencies. And those agencies report to the different credit bureaus well, the credit bureaus check those different agencies and they're constantly communicating with each other and creating files for people. And when these files start to come together, that's how you get public records and that's how you get a score that's populated. Now, I'm not going to go into too much detail right now because this video is kind of getting into the granular steps of the process. This freestyle right here is so funny right here. This is crazy. This is the bounce back. But let's uh let's get to another part of the process. So let's see what I want to talk about here. Hmm. I recommend setting up Verizon prepaid. Verizon is the main one that I've seen in the past report directly to data collection agencies, and it's super verifiable. So back in the days where people were doing getting approved for loans and things like that, in like 2020, a lot of people were using this certain website to get approved for loans. And the crazy part about this website was the only way that you could get your information verified was if you had a Verizon phone number or AT&T phone number. But mainly Verizon prepaid numbers were the main numbers being able to be able to activate a loan application in regards to verification. So public records. Once again, guys, Verizon is a great place for public records, and this is what I'm talking about here. This is a method that you can use once you have your file created to solidify some public records, especially using phone numbers, because a lot of places will verify you using a phone number. So it's a great method to utilize. So I'm going to play this video. I learned that a long time ago, and then I started looking into the data collection agencies, and I fix a lot of people's credit and help people with those different things, educational purposes only. And when I look over those files, a lot of the time, Verizon numbers are the main numbers that are reporting directly to the credit profile. So it's just something I've noticed from experience that Verizon definitely reports a lot of information. So using Verizon prepaid, this is important because carriers report information into large verification databases. So use the profile's information during the activation. So don't just buy don't just buy a Verizon prepaid and then say, well, I got the Verizon prepaid, and then just put the Verizon prepaid phone number into your tri merging process. You don't want to do it like that. You need to make sure that you set up the full Verizon prepaid account. So you want to download the Verizon application. You want to put your name inside of the Verizon app. You want to put the name of the CP profile. You want to make sure that you put the address on the CP profile if available. Sometimes they have it available, sometimes they don't, just depending on what time you see this video, what day you see this video, etc. And then you want to put that information in, and you start utilizing that phone number within your applications. But you're not going to be using it just on any application, but like for public records. And also you want to be using the name and the phone number in conjunction uh, when you're tri-merging. So just keep that in mind. So why phone data matters. So it helps verification, it builds public records, it creates matching data points, improves profile visibility. And when lenders or systems, and that right there is key, guys. Public records and matching data points. So when you're going to register your CP, or you're trying to make sure that you got a verifiable number that you can utilize at any point in time, then matching data points is going to really matter. So when you have actual phone numbers that are verifiable or that are already on the credit report matching up, and then you have those numbers, maybe you have your verified number that you're using with that phone number when you set up that phone number account, then you can utilize this with Verizon's website. So then if you get on Verizon, you set up the online login portal, and then you just make sure that everything matches up. You could just do this for prepaid. And then the thing is, with Verizon prepaid, after about 60 days, you could just go back in after you've done all the necessary work for public records and maybe add a couple trade lines onto that verified with this IRS CPN number. And you could go back and you could get approved up to around 20 lines just from having all your ducks in order. So it's a lot of things that you can do, guys, and I just wanted to discuss some of these things with you. Let's play a little bit more of this video, and then we'll get up out of here for this verify identities. They can compare your information against large data providers like LexisNexis. Now, a lot of this stuff won't be something that you experience directly. So once you do this part of the process, it's not like they're going to tell you like, well, now you're ready for verification. So a lot of people mix up CP information like this, and they think that it's some way to be able to completely verify everything in regards to like public records and things like that. And there's ways that you can double check your public records, but mainly a lot of this information is for you to do, and it's going to be happening. The benefits of this is going to be happening behind the scenes. So this is going to improve the profile visibility to the credit bureaus with the data collection agencies and LexisNexis, people like that. They're always looking for information to try to match it to the current profiles that they see. So the better primary trade lines that you have on the file and the better public records you have is going to allow for you to be able to create not only an approvable credit profile, but an actual credit profile that's just usable in general. So as you see, everything matches up, guys, and everything works together to create a better profile for you. So we'll keep doing more videos like this. I'm just testing this out, just seeing how you guys like it. And also, there's just so much to talk about. There's so many videos. I've created so much information out there. I'm trying to do my best to be as detailed as possible to help you guys kind of get an understanding of the information. and go into more detail of each video because this is a niche topic. And as you see, we have a small community, but I'm loyal to this small community. I've been here for you guys and I will continue to be here for you guys. So just lock in with us. Make sure you lock in on the Patreon. If you're watching this on Instagram, just make sure that you click the link in the description. We have all the links to the Patreon and Discord. Make sure you also lock in with us on Discord. Obviously, that's where we do a lot of our communication. We do a lot of deal offers and things like that on the Discord. You would just have to go to the general discussion. Once you go to the general discussion, you'll see all the offers and you'll also see the at name to how you can message me directly through Discord. That's where we are the most responsive. So wherever you're seeing us, we're the most responsive on Discord. And also shout out to my TikTok people. And I'll see you guys on the next video.